Welcome back, everyone. It's Gathering the Magic. We're all gathering the magic. Okay, guys, it's time to go through the cards on the marketplace. We're going to start with Alpha. So looking at Alpha Commons, you can see the cheapest card here is 45 cents. So prices are holding pretty good for the Alpha cards. We've got a handful of these, under 70 cents. Then they start trending up to $1 or so. No buyouts, nothing ridiculous. A few months ago we had it where people would buy out one of the commons, and then some of these commons were listing for $10, $20, $30. So none of that. But as you look at the numbers, you can see there's only, for most of these, 20 or fewer copies on the marketplace for Alpha Commons. And we'll move on to the rare cards. Take a look at the rares. Rares starting just at $1, but you can see they quickly go up to $1.50, $2. So your cheapest rare for Alpha is the Clay Golem, sitting at $1.08. Your summoners, you're starting to get in the $3 to $5 range. Not very many on the marketplace. You can see Tyrus, there's only 12. Alric, there's only 23. Zentar, there's only 14. But still, when you consider only $2 or $3 for an Alpha summoner, I'd say that's a pretty good deal. Okay, moving on to epics. So there's only 10 epics in the set. They are all listed currently on the marketplace. There's a few copies. Actually, seems like there's more of these than normal. So when you start getting to 12 to 15 of Alpha epics, that's actually quite a lot when you look to see that there's, for most of these, just about 1,000 or 1,200 total in circulation. So your cheapest one is the Air Elemental at $2.69, up to just under $20 for Defender of Truth. Your legendary cards, only 7 of the 9 are listed, so these are very rare, as you would expect. Lord of Darkness is the cheapest at just under $20, and Lightning Dragon is sitting at $2.50, and that is for a level 3. So that is a 4 BCX. And just so you guys know, for alphas, it's not like the current sets where you need 11 of a legendary to max it out. You only need 8. So this one is sitting at 4 BCX for $250. Next, let's look at the gold foil versions. So as I mentioned in part 1, last few months, there would usually be like 5 to maybe 7 or 8 alpha common gold foils that were under 20 bucks. You'd see several 13, 14, 15. Well, look at them now. There's one that's just under 18, and then it jumps to $27.50 for the Goblin Shaman. So very low liquidity, very few of these on the marketplace, and you can see the prices, especially for the commons, are really shooting up. If we look just specifically at the commons, 19 out of 20 are represented here. Of course, when you start getting into the single copies, people can ask what they want, so people are asking $300-400 a piece. So don't be surprised if the bull run continues, and if it hits Splinterlands, we get a huge player growth and all that. These, just 1 or 2 more of these disappear, you're going to start to see all of these at $100 plus for an alpha gold foil, and that's for a common. Okay, moving to rares. Rares, you can see starting at 50 bucks. There's only 12 of the 20 represented here, and many of them are only single copies. So these are the rarest of the rare. Epics, 7 of the 9 are represented here. You can see the prices range from right around $300 up to $1,500 for the Dark Enchantress. And then your legendaries, seems like it's always these 3. Lord of Darkness, $2,700. Selenia Sky for $11,000. And then Elemental Phoenix is sitting there at $155,000. That's the I don't want to sell it price. Okay, so let's look now at the promo cards. So these are the only promo cards that are available on the market currently for regular and gold foil. For the regular, you can see the common is $8. The rare is $14.45. The epic is $3.70, and Shinlo, the legendary, is $5.50. The only gold foil version is the rare for $98. That is it for alpha. So let's go on to beta. Corn reward cards. So as you would expect, the commons, you're starting at basically 3 to 5 cents for the floor for some of the commons. If you play in wild, there's some really good deals here for some great commons. The Cube, Skeleton Assassin, Creeping Ooze is kind of a staple card. I love the Sable Shark and the Miner for the sneak. So A lot of good cards here, very cheap. Wood Nymph for just 16 cents. So scroll through here so you guys can see the prices and how many are on the market. And all the way up to, well, let's just start with the commons. Let's do the cutoff of the common cards. Common regular foil. So the low end, of course, was 3-4 cents up to 64 cents for the Feral Spirit, 43 cents for the Elven Cutthroat. That's for your common cards. For your rares, starting at 18-20 cents for the floor for a beta rare. Some of these very low liquidity, like look at Pit Ogre, there's only 3 in the marketplace. But then you've got Javelin Thrower and there's 106. Let's take a quick look after we look at this at just the summoners. There's chicken for 38 cents. I remember in the bull market where this thing was like $10 plus for a chicken. Will we see those days in 2025? Ulrich is finally above $2. I picked up some of these under $2. Zintar, another good deal at $1.69. Prismatic Energy for 3. So let's look just at the summoners. So a beta summoner, look at this, 32 cents, 54 cents. So with survival mode right around the corner, it might be time to really research some of the summoner cards that are under 50 cents, especially some of these older cards, because like for the betas, if you want to get these just to like level 3, you only need 5 copies. You know, it's not like current summoners where you need 14 copies to get to level 3. So not only are these cards cheap, don't compare them penny for penny with the newer ones, because it takes a lot less to combine these to get to a similar level. Like if you wanted to get level 4, which is max silver, with let's say Kelia would take 25 copies. With this, it only takes 11. So keep that in mind when you're looking at prices on some of these cards. So like I said, if you get cards under 50 cents, you know, you're looking at, you know, $5 to $6 to get a summoner to silver level. So that is not bad in my opinion. Okay, let's take a look at the epic cards. So starting at 66.73 cents for the floor, all the way up to 6.25 for the fire spitter. That might be a little overpriced. Let's look at the summoners here. So these are your epic summoners. These are kind of some of the forgotten ones. I rarely ever see these played, at least in wild. You know, I play usually in silver, low gold. So don't know if you see these in diamond or champ, but I very, very rarely see these cards. And I'm wondering if Conclave Arcana, if they're going to bring back some sort of form of these where they're low, maybe 2 to 3 mana, epic, and maybe they just have one kind of small ability. So we'll see. Even like this one, it's epic, but it's got, you know, the plus melee, but it costs a little bit more. You know, I'm really thinking we might see epic rarity summoners in Conclave Arcana. And then finally, for your beta legendaries, the floor is right around $5. Going up to your most expensive, which you probably would guess, is Valnamore, sitting at just under 60. Cryptmancer's 20, Prince Renan at 29.50. So let's go take a look at the gold. So your gold beta cards, you're looking at just around $2 for the floor. It's Creeping Ooze. I remember when it a few months ago, it spiked up to like 8 to 10, and now it's back down under 2. Gelatinous Cube sitting at 223. So your most expensive commons for beta are 1130 for the Crustacean King, and Silver Shield Knight sitting at 736. And then your rares, which of course will include some summoners. So look at this. The second cheapest beta rare is a summoner at 775. That tells me that's underpriced, because a summoner I think should be more expensive than just a monster card. There's a gold chicken for 11. Gold Ulrich for about 20. How many summoners are there in gold? 5. Okay. So you're looking at, yeah, look at how undervalued Tyrus is compared to the rest. So you've got 10, 15, basically 17 and 20 for your gold summoners for beta. Looking at your epics start 30 to 40 is the floor, all the way up to 260 for the Spirit Shaman. And then finally your beta gold legendaries, right around 260, 300 the floor, almost $700 for Cryptmancer, Lord Arianas for 681, Peak Rider for 3580. You will notice there's no Velnamore. Okay, so that's beta. Let's look at promo next. So just looking at your promo cards from beta, you've got Dragon Scale. He's sitting there at $1.70, and that is per BCX. So a bunch of copies for $1.70. So, 3-4 months ago he was under $1. He was like 70, 75 cents for quite a while. But now with survival mode, people want to get that Dragon Summoner, especially one that gives plus to magic. So he's dried up off the market. The Bowman, the rare, has been sitting right around 50 cents for quite a while. Fiendish Harpy at 257, Red Dragon at 1834. And then, as I mentioned in part 1, Archmage Arius and Prince Julian have been trending lower and lower every 2 weeks when I do the market watch. So curious to see how much lower these two cards will go before they get either bought by someone or just taken down. And then for your gold foil versions, the only two available are the common and the rare. 1555 for the gold and 48 for the rare. Let's go through Orbs. So very small set. Actually, let's just look at the whole set. This is it for Orb. So you've got your 4 common cards ranging from 9 to 24 cents. You've got your 3 rares from 22 to 26 cents. Your 2 epics, 74 cents and $2 for the Mermaid Healer. And then finally your 3 legendary cards ranging from $5.69 up to $17 for the Minotaur Warlord. And then your gold foil versions, there's only 10 of the 12 cards available. You can see they range in price from $2 up to the legendaries, and these have been up for months. $700 for the Warlord and $1,400 for the Corrupted Pegasus. I love sets like that. They're so quick and easy to go through. Untamed, just look at core and reward. So once again, you're sitting at 2-3 cents for the cheapest cards for the commons, all the way down to Failed Summoner, who's usually one of the top cards in the set. It is currently sitting at 30 cents. The other cards I love to talk about, the Spy sitting at 11 cents, Sandworm at 9 cents, Flame Monkey at 8 cents, Warlord of Peace at 5 cents. So there's some great cards here, very cheap. Looking at your rares, go from 4 to 5 cents for the cheapest, all the way down to 20 cents for the Shield Bearer, 22 for the Unicorn Mustang. So your most expensive rare, surprisingly, is the Princess at 50 cents and Spark Pixies at 45. Looking at your summoners, so these are the ones, like I said earlier, the beta ones take a lot less to combine than Untamed up to current. So like for silver level, you're looking at 25 copies, but still the price is not bad on these. Looking at, right around 20 cents for most of these, 30 cents for Bortus with the negative magic, and then 44 cents for a Dragon Summoner with +1 armor. So if you're interested in survival mode, definitely check these out. Okay, epics. Epics, you're looking at right around 20 cents for the cheapest epic, all the way up to Coral Wraith. I think a very overlooked card with that +2 magic that hits the back line with Sneak. I love using that card in Wild. Axemaster with the double strike. So the most expensive epic is 97 cents for the Chief. And then finally for your legendaries, $1.41 for Robo Dragon Knight, all the way up to, and I was kind of surprised when I looked earlier, the Kitty is actually under 40 bucks. So these 3 cards are right around $39, $40. Jotun, Llama, and Kitty. Lear Deep Swimmer has been trending up. I remember quite a while he was like 7 to 10, maybe $12 per BCX. 21, is that for a single BCX? Yes, it is. So he is starting to get some love. Kron, he's been as high as 15, 20, and he seems every time he hits that price, more and more get listed. Now he's down under $8. So if you don't have a Kron yet, you can get a Kron for 8. And Mimosa, here's another deal, you guys. A Mimosa sitting here 4 copies sitting under $12.39. So 4 copies under $8, and then it starts getting more and more pricey. So if you're looking to pick up this card, if you don't have a single copy, good time to pick one up for under $8. Now looking at your gold foil versions. So your gold foils start at right around 50 cents for the floor. So Failed Summoner was the most expensive regular foil. For the gold foil, he's $1.56, and Serpentine Spy is sitting at $2.48. For your rares, looking at just over $2.20 for the cheapest Untamed gold foil rare, all the way up to $5.50 for the Princess. Take a look at the summoner prices for gold foil. You're looking at $2.28 for Pyre, Wizard of Eastwood $2.50, Mother Kala $2.69, Drake of Arnek $3.06, Contessa at $3.07, and Bortus at $3.85. Your epics start at $10 to $12. And they quickly move all the way up to, when you get a single copy, someone lists it for $150. Or 2 X Masters at 75 is the cheapest. So for these, I would say probably 30 to 40 should be the high point for these gold foil epics. These are just simply a little bit overpriced in my opinion. And then finally for your legendary cards, you're looking at right around 75 bucks for the cheapest. And look at this, there's no gold foil kitty, there's no gold foil llama, but you have a scale doctor for 5,500, Jotun 1550, and then after that it drops way down to Chancius for basically 225. And if you are looking for a gold Kron, there is still a gold foil Kron for under 100 bucks, and then another one for 101. If you think that is a good price. Okay. Next, let's look at the promo cards. So you've got the Halfling Alchemist and Chain Golem both went up in price over the last couple weeks. Went through it in part 1, but just so you can see the cards. Halfling Alchemist sitting at $263. He had been about half that price. Chain Golem had been under 10. Now he's at $14.56. You can see the gold foil's a little bit pricey, over $230 and $250. And then the Mighty Draken for $900. Okay, let's look at dice. Another small set that's fun to go through because it's just so small. This is it for the commons, 2 cents to 12 cents. Flamesmith, of course, most expensive because of that shatter. Your rares, there's Mylor. He's not $1 anymore. You know, we got used to him being so cheap. But now single BCX copies are going to run you $4 to $5 very quickly, and there's not a whole lot on the market. You can see only 24 copies total. Lorna Shine sitting at just under $1, Bright and Bloom at 59, Ouster at 40, and then you've got Quid, Yuff, and Vera sitting at 12 and 15 cents. So once again, if you're looking for just some cheap summoners for survival mode, don't forget about dice. For your epics, just 3 cards in the set, 27 to 39 cents is about standard for those 3 cards. So you can see those here, along with the amounts circulating on the market. And then finally, for your legendary cards, Epona, once again, is kind of cheap at $25. You know, I'd seen this consistently in the $40 to $50 range. Krallis as well, you know, 17 bucks, and sometimes it'll spike up to 25, 28, somewhere in that range. So these two are a little bit lower than I've seen them in the past. And then for your gold foil, so your gold foil commons, basically 50 cents to $1, nothing too outrageous there. Your rare cards, so these are your summoners. You can see a gold foil Mylar sitting at 32. One of the deals of the week that I want you guys to be aware of, I think this is very underpriced, a gold foil Lorna Shine for only $6.30. That's for a single BCX copy. So for about the same BCX price, you know, you can get a higher level one, but if you just need one copy, there's only one on the market at $6.30, and then after that, there's 2 single copies for $12, so you can get it basically half price compared to those two. Not very many on the market, so if you just need one card, you know, go ahead and grab this one. If you're looking for a deal on a higher level card, you know, there are some available for right around that $6. Let's look at epics next. So of course your 3 epics, 10 to 25. I was going to say oppress might be a thing with weapons training. I don't really see too many people playing with oppress, kind of surprisingly. And then your legendary cards, once again, there's a gold foil Crawlus for 183. I very rarely, if ever, see a gold opponent on the marketplace. So that's it for Untamed. So now let's go to Chaos Legion. Let's just look at the core and the first set of reward cards. Regular foil commons, of course, nothing surprising here. They're going to be super cheap. 1 to 5 cents for the commons. For your rare cards, of course, they're going to start at 2 cents, you know, right around burn value. You can see how many are in circulation and on the market. All the way to your summoners, which range from 12 cents to 29. A couple hundred of each on the marketplace. Once again, if you're looking for survival mode, you know, see how long those things last at sub 20 cents. Your epics, 9-10 cents for the floor, right around burn value. All the way up to, and I was kind of surprised by this, I mentioned part 1, Temporal Master, a card that I never see anyone play, but for some reason the cheapest is $1.08 compared to the other top ones that are, you know, 15 to 20 cents, so very unusual there. And then for your legendary cards, the floor has hit 50 cents, just above 50 cents for the reward legendary cards from Chaos Legion, all the way up to your summoners, and most expensive is Immortalis at 366. Still can't believe you can get legendary summoners for, you know, right around $2, $2 to $3 for these things. Okay, and then your gold foil versions. So the floor, 14-15 cents for the commons. And then your most expensive one is usually always Scavo Hireling. He's down to 60 cents. For your rares, looking at 60 cents is the floor. All the way up to your summoner cards, which you can get a gold summoner for $1.23 up to $3.19 for Kelia. For your epics, which I love using these on land, so your cheapest, as soon as the graphics load, it's right around $3. So these have pretty much consistently been like $3 to $4.50 or $3 to $5 for a gold epic. So that trend continues. You know, for $4 you can get a gold foil dragon worker. I know if you have a lot of hills like I do in one of your regions, you're going to need a lot of either life or dragon cards. So this is the only dragon epic card for the Chaos Legion era, I believe. I think this is the only dragon. Yep, so that is your choice. $4 is not bad for, you know, an epic gold card. And then finally for your legendary golds, getting very close to $20 for the floor of your gold foil summoners. And the most expensive is Uriel the Purifier at $99. All right, now let's look at the reward cards, the Soulbounds. So commons, pretty much typical, 5 to 8 cents, about what you would expect, nothing too crazy there. Your rares, 23 to 34, so your summoners are starting to push that low to mid 30 range. You know, for quite a while we got used to all of them being right around 25 cents, but now they're starting to trend higher and higher, especially when we get into the gold foils. Your epics, $1.20 to $1.50. And then finally your legendary cards, you can see all 12 are represented here. Some of them you've got, you know, 25 copies, but then there's some other ones like Avis and the Hero where there's only 5 unbound and available on the market. Izyar, there's only 5, and that one's going for $11.80. So let's see how many there are there. So you've got, well, look at this, guys, one at $11.80, and then a single BCX jumps up to $19 and $20. So if you need one copy of Izyar, you may want to grab it now, otherwise you're going to pay a lot more if no one else starts listing these things, because you can see very quickly these go up in price. And then let's look at the gold foil versions. So your commons, $1.28 for the Sentry, up to $1.94 for Boba Fett's famous Fungus Flingers. Rares, you're looking at $6.25 for the Riverboat Captain, up to $9.80 for Lob Lowland. Once again, I think these gold foil summoners are going to continue to go up. Look, there's very few on the market. There's a lot in circulation, but there's not a lot that was unbound. So don't look at this number. Look at this number, 118. That's all there are that are unbound. So these are extremely scarce. Look at Brune, only 73 unbound. Roughmane, 60. Shadow Meld, 60. So people didn't want to spend the money to unbind these things. And now there's extremely few on the marketplace, 84. I mean, we're getting in the realm of these things being like gold foil alpha summoners. Okay, gold foil epics, basically $30 to $40 range. As you can see here, once again, very few of these on the marketplace. Some of these only single copies. How many of these were unbound? 16. That's it for an epic. 16 unbound for the Clockwork Aid. 12 for this one. So these things might shoot up a lot more in price just because they are extremely rare. 43 for Noah. Will-o'-the-Wisp, 22. Yeah, I think these are going to be, these have been overlooked. And then, as I mentioned in part one, so there's 12 gold foil, 12 legendary cards in the set, as you guys know. But look, there's only 5 gold foils on the marketplace. 5 out of the 12. Single copies, 2 copies, 2 copies. How many gold foil Iziers are there unbound? 22. Avis, 23. Kulu, 21. So once again, if you have unbound copies of these, man, these things might sell for a lot more in the not too distant future. Okay, so that's it for Chaos Reward. Let's look at the promo cards. Let's look at the regular foil. So we'll just let them load the correct pictures. So your common cards sitting right at 11 cents. Oh, sure, at 9.39. Dr. Blight came back down to 14. More normal range for him is between 10 and 15. But Zerial fell from low to mid 20s to 15.34. Lux has continued to slide. Seemed like not too long ago it was like, $200 to $225 consistently. Now it's down to 165, and then Waka is actually climbing. He's up to 195. Then your gold foil versions, the common promos right around $1.50. Dr. Blight sitting at 69. Zerial gold foil holding 113, just under 114. Oshur at 135. Waka at 888, and Lux Vega at 3,250. How many Lux Vegas are there gold? 63. So look, there's way more gold foil Lux Vegas out there than there are gold foil rare summoners that were soulbound. Not saying they're better, just saying there's less. Okay, so what is next? Riftwatchers. Let's take a look at Riftwatchers. So the surprising card for Riftwatchers commons for me this week was the Exile, because normally these cards are 1 to 10 or 11 cents. Usually the most expensive is either the Bramble Pixie or Ash Mirage. But look at the Exile. Somebody must have did a buyout of him. Drunk Chewy. So one listing them all at 26 cents. So not a ton of them on the market, but yeah, really did spike up in price when you see a 26-cent common. Your rares, 4 cents up to, Queen of Crows, 41. So Tinderlock and Corsair have come down a lot in price. Your epics, which are your summoners, Dallin and Aquatis are always on the bottom of the pile, right in the mid-20s. Ilthane, which for a long time would have been $3-4, now is down to $1.23. And for your legendaries, is it showing the promo? Okay, for your legendary cards, $1.20 for Mortius, up to, this is about as cheap as I've seen Inevitable, just above $20. Normally this is a, a $30, $35 card. So you can see here you've got 4 copies under $25, and then you start getting in that $28 to $30 range again. For your higher level BCX ones, though, you can see you can get them if you're willing to spend the money and need a higher level card. You can get them for about $18 to $19 per BCX. But for single copies, this is pretty low. Okay, let's look at the gold foil prices. So Lycan Beast sitting at 17 cents. Look, Damaki Exile. So the regular foil is 26, or you can get a gold foil for 28. Which would you buy? Hint, I would buy those. Okay, gold foil rares, 65 cents to $3. Surprisingly, this card is above Queen of Crows. Epics, once again, look at Ilthane. And that is for a single BCX, sitting at 45 bucks. And even per BCX, the cheapest you get is $38 for a level 6 10 BCX. So max copy for $380. So even buying a max copy, you're not getting it much cheaper per BCX. So someone is really hanging on to those gold foil Ilthanes. And then finally your gold legendaries, 23, 25 bucks for the floor, up to 180 for inevitable. Okay. So that is it for Riftwatchers. So now the set everyone wants to know about. We just sold out of packs, so how are prices doing for Rebellion? Pretty much the same, at least for like commons and the regular foil cards. 4 or 5 cents is your floor. Your summoners are usually consistently in that 20 to 35 cent range. You can see here, 27 for Dolfar, up to Chol for 37. I would say a decent amount. Dolfar, there's only 21, but then you've got over 100 of 3 of them. So decent supply on the market for now for the regular foil. For your rares, 11, 12 cents are your cheapest rares, up to $2 for the Moxian Rebel. Your epic cards, 40 cents for the Red Worm Hatchling. The one that really moved up this week and overtook Captain Fellblade for the top spot of epics is Iron Hood. Because I think people are starting to realize they want to get those weapon training cards, and this is the only weapons training card in Rebellion that has archery. So they thought he was too cheap, being, I think it was like $1.50 to $2 somewhere in there. So there's only 4 left on the marketplace. $3 for a single BCX, $3.90 for a single BCX, and then a level 3 for $18 for 10 BCX. So not very many of those on the marketplace. And then finally for your legendary cards, went through a lot of the prices on the key cards in part 1, so I won't rehash everything here in part 2. You can see the prices and the print runs and the numbers on the market here. Of course, the top card continues to be Tofu, 11 on the marketplace. Cheapest is $59. Lorcus is just under 40. Venkin Cryptic usually are right in that mid-20 range. And then you can see the rest of the prices here. For your gold foils, gold foil commons, I wonder how long there's going to be some of them under $1. I need to get more for my main deck. I'm shooting for silver, so I'm going to need 5 copies of each common card. So if I can pick these up under $1, I'm definitely going to do it. Pick out the key ones that I want here. Ones that I think you guys should definitely target is cards like the Chaos Animator that has that Amplify, but the main thing is Void. You're going to want any cards that have Void. You're not going to have that Summoner, at least as of now, other than Lorcus, that is going to give plus to magic. So in most instances, a lot of the magic damage you come up against is going to be 1, so this will negate it completely. So if you're worried about coming up against Moxian Rebel decks where you're going to have 3 cards in a row, with decent hit points, they don't have no attack, and then Moxian Rebel gives them all 1 magic damage, this card is immune to that. So this card has helped me a lot. So I just want you guys to know, even if you don't get the gold foil, definitely get a level 3 Chaos Animator if you plan on playing in Modern for that Void. Another card you're going to want is the Chaos Orc for your tank with a Piercing. At level 5 he also gets Trample. But went through that. Go ahead and check out my Rebellion deep dive video that I did a month or 2 ago. And then, of course, you guys know that I love my gold foil summoners. 3 mana, dual splinter to me they're extremely powerful, even if they don't have abilities. Just giving you that flexibility of having so many more cards to choose from when building your deck. So, I'm a big fan of the gold common summoners. Then your rares, you're looking at right around $1.50 to $2 for your cheapest gold foil rare. This is going to be a key card, Lysaros, definitely, because of that Thorns. And remember also, if you pair him with Underboss Fabino, right off the bat, he's going to be doing 5 melee damage if you give him that tactic. So you're going to have Thorns, 5 melee damage, and you're going to have good amount of hit points and armor. Moxie Rebel sitting at under 9. This should be $10, $12 plus. If you need a Moxie Rebel gold foil, yep, there's a bunch of them under the market under 10. But this is going to be such a key card. Let's see, you definitely want to get it to level 4 so you can get that camouflage. Other than that, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, if you're going to play in Champ, of course, you want to get it to at least 7 to have that 2 magic damage, because that's going to be a lot more deadly. But like for me, playing in Silver, even if I get a single copy, I mean, from 1 to 4, I'm gaining 2 hit points, and, maybe a camouflage. So if I can only afford 1, there's 1. Oh, and I just see I sold my Magic the Gathering Scars of Mirrodin booster box. Awesome. So I might have a few $100s to spend in Splinterlands. Might have to do a new Market Watch video. So I'm telling you guys about these deals. They're not going to last long. So as soon as I get the money from that box, we might be going on a shopping spree this week. Okay, so there's the gold foil rares. Gold foil epics, right around $8 for the floor. Captain Fellblade 18. I'm really beginning to like this card, and I think other people are as well. Harbinger Chaos. There's not a lot of cards in the new Modern that are going to have 3 magic damage or more right off the bat, right at level 1. So this card is very, very nice, and especially having that Divine Shield. Magic only rule sets, or just in general, to have 3 magic damage is awesome. Then if you can get them to level 3 and get that immunity, helps them, on other rule sets. So this card is really nice. I don't play Life hardly at all. But yeah, I really like that card. Plus, it's just badass art too. Awesome job on the artwork, guys. Okay, let's look at the legendaries. So $40 for the floor. Like I said, here's one of the other few cards that have 5 magic damage right off the bat, but it's costing 13. Chaos Golem is a card I think I mentioned a couple times. I think it's the only card in Rebellion that has Enrage and Retaliate. It might be the only card that has Enrage or Retaliate, and this has both. So this is definitely, a card to look for. If you're looking for your tank for fire, this is the card to get, especially if you're going to play in gold. If you can get him level 3 for gold. What is he? And he's cheap. I think he's only like $3 or $4. Of course, I'm looking at the gold foil, but just the regular foil. Yeah, look, $3, $4. So is there one available for level 3? Level 3, 6 BCX, $18. Not bad. $18 you get that card. Return Fire, Enrage, and Retaliate. So I think that's a very, very overlooked card, that Chaos Golem. But yeah, you can see the rest of the gold foil prices and how many cards are on the market. Not very many, as you can see. Usually 10 or less for most of these gold foils. And remember, guys, most of these have been opened. We've got, what, 72, 73,000 circulating packs, something like that. And we've opened 900,000. So you've opened 900,000 packs, and you've only got about 100 and some of each of these gold foil legendaries. You open another, even if all the packs get open, another 70,000, you're going to add, what, another 10, if that, each. So these cards are extremely, extremely scarce for, a new set, the new set that just came out. Okay, so we went through the core. Let's go to the reward cards. So I hope you guys are doing well, grinding every day, working on your reward cards. I am still playing on all 3 accounts. For my commons on my main accounts, I'm going for gold foils, got them mostly to level 5, which is where I want to be. You can see the commons are ranging 8 to 11 cents. Rares, a little bit under burn or right at burn, 32 cents to 44 for Commander Slade. Epics, $1.80. What? Why is the Weaver the cheapest? Come on, guys. Have you watched the channel? You guys know how much I love the Weaver. Are you guys using the Weaver? Okay, the Weaver is better than Night Reaper. He's definitely better than Conjurer, better than Blade. As good as Shock Trooper, although Shock Trooper really shines him back to basics. I would say, yes, Halfling Refugee is an awesome card for the mana cost. Halfling Refugee is not going to win you the game on its own. This card will win you the game on its own. Olivia can win you games on its own from time to time, depending on how many, abilities it picks up. The Weaver is going to win you a lot of games, just having the Weaver. So take my advice. If you guys play Death, get the Weaver, get it as high as you can, put it in with a Taunt Monster, win, repeat, enjoy. Okay, there you go. And then legendaries, I need to work on these. I have like no legendaries other than thank you to Vet V for sending me an Endless Gibbon. That is the only legendary card that I own. As you guys know, I'm focused more on draws, so I am working on gold foils on my main account. So I'm saving up glint to get gold foil commons and rares. Commons I have almost done. Rares I'll be working on this season and end of season. Once I get those to level 4, which will be max silver, then we're going to go for saving up 35,000 glint to get some legendary cards. This is the key one that I want. I think Dwayne's talked about this card as well. Earth is really going to be good in Melee in the new Modern. And if you play in gold and you can get this bad boy to gold, oh my goodness, look at this. Phase. Dispel is just kind of icing on the cake. You've got to have shield. He's got shield. Demoralize. There's not a lot of demoralize in the new Modern, so don't overlook that. Pair this guy with Fabino. He's doing 6 damage. And then if you're playing in champ and you throw a stun on top of him, oh my goodness. Yep, really like that card. Okay, so that's the regular foils. How are the gold foils looking? I haven't really unlocked any gold foils to sell because I'm keeping them for my accounts. On my 2 alt accounts, I only need a single copy of the gold foils because I'm only going to play in bronze. So once I get one of each, I'm good. The problem I'm having with my $10 account is I've got 11 of the 12. The only one I need is Numbleduck Explorer. I don't want to buy it. And the thing is, if I keep spending 3,500 glint to try to get it, I've got an 11 out of 12 chance I'm not going to get it. So I'm just going to keep the regular foil from now. If I get to the point where I open chests, maybe I'll get lucky and pull one. But yep, that's the only one I need on my $10 account. And then, like I said, for rares, for my alt accounts, I only need 1. So if I can get 1 gold foil, I'm good. I got lucky today and I did get a gold, I believe, no, it wasn't that one, Johnny Rebel. So I ended up getting a gold foil Johnny Rebel today. So I was very happy to get that. So I didn't have to spend 15,000 glint to get a gold rare draw. Epics, you can see here, there we go. Weaver getting some love. He's there at 50 bucks. Olivia Brooke at 51. And of course, you're not going to see gold legendaries. They are too expensive to unlock. All right, so let's wrap this long video up. Thank you for staying with me, guys. And let's look at the promo cards for the regular foil. So Mana Warden, 17 cents. The Enforcer at $1.50. I need to get this card yet. I have not picked one up yet. Repair is very, very rare in the new Modern, and to get Repair right off the bat, we've been so spoiled for the last 2 years with Scavo Hireling. Being neutral, 3 mana, you can throw it in any splinter. That is no more in the new Modern. So for Repair, it's life and it's earth, at least for this card. So if you play life or earth, definitely get at least 1 BCX of this card just to get the Repair. I mean, yeah, if you want to get it to 4 and get Cleanse, that's great. If you've got the money and you're playing in champ, Echo is, fantastic. Just get 1 copy for the Repair. A lot of these cards, guys, just get 1 copy of them if you can. I'm not mentioning the legendaries, just like the rares, because these are going to help you so much. And, for people that decided to skip the promos or skip Rebellion and they're just going to concentrate on Arcane Arcana, even just having 1 BCX of these things where they're not as powerful as they are at higher levels, just 1 copy can make all the difference and just give you that flexibility for your deck. Once again, thank you, Bronze Dragon, for the stream earlier today. I did win a Baron Fiat, so I'm definitely going to be using that card. I don't play max level, but on my main account, I can play him at gold, so I can get him with the ambush. Fantastic to get ambush with scattershot because he's going to hit a couple different things, probably with scattershot, and he's going to have two different things attacks, hopefully. So that is, I'm really looking forward to playing with that card. And Death is my favorite Splinter, so I'm definitely going to be playing him a lot. So thank you again for that. Grimbarden Smith, I mentioned in part one, the single BCX copies for quite a while had been $2.50 to $3. Just recently, so it looks like in just the last half hour, Killer Kev has listed 3 for $5.80. Other than that, it was $6 is the cheapest single BCX. But I would not buy single BCX of these because you need 5 of them to get to level 2. So that would cost you $30. For $30, you might as well go ahead and get a single copy of the gold foil at level 2 and only spend $15.90. So just spend half the price, and there are a bunch of these at $15.90. Get yourself a level 2, get a gold foil to get that extra 10% bonus. Don't be buying single copies for $6. So, but here are the prices of the rares here. There are no epics, of course, so let's just finish with the legendary cards. So Baron Fiat has gone from about $350 to $474. Gold foil at $37.50. Mantroth at $38. Once again, one of the buys of the week, I think, guys, right here. Look at this right here. $99 for a gold foil Mantroth. Incredibly, stupidly cheap. This was a $200 to $400 card. Even the 160 to me is a little bit low. Why this person listed it at 99 when the next cheapest is 160, I don't know. If you have the funds, if you're, someone that's got the money, go ahead, get this card, relisted it for 150, make $50, So that is my gift to you guys. Merry Christmas. Get that card, get it off the market, flip it, and have a Merry Christmas. Okay, Ulfga Gold Foil, 169. Is there anything else we need to talk about with these? Not really. Very low liquidity. I haven't seen a gold Rick Lallemand in about a month and a half, so I don't know if hardly if those are going to ever be on. Oh, there's only 24. Look at how rare that thing is. Yep, 24. Okay, guys, there you have it. So that is the final episode for 2024 of the Card Market Watch. This is episode 26, which means I've been doing this a year. Wow, a whole year. So this week I have off of work. Hopefully I can get a hold of Boba Fett and do a interview with those guys at Splinterlands 101. I've been watching their show for quite a while, so I'd love to sit and chat with them. Love to talk to anybody that is passionate about Splinterlands as I am, so hopefully stay tuned for that. Hopefully sometime this week. So hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, great time off. Maybe you're lucky like me and have some time off from now in the holiday season. Hope you guys, like Bronze Dragon says, your families are happy and healthy. If there's any topics that you would like me to cover in the next week, please let me know. I'll try to do a video on that. And as always, stay the course, keep on forging, have fun, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Good things come to those who wait.